Hello and welcome to Bomb Squad, an In Dreams production, where we diffuse the news. My name is Andrew Muggleton, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host Chris Sloan. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Now, Chris, I noticed last time we recorded you were wearing a lovely dress. I've noticed this time you don't have any trousers on.
I mean, we're sat at a desk and you can't see below, so...
Hold on one sec. No, you definitely don't have any trousers on.
Okay. I have not done my washing. That's what you just wanted me to come out and say it, didn't you?
I'm not organised. It was a name and shame.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
If you want, I'll take your chair home and wash it.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, let's move on. Okay. So how's your week been going?
It's been all right, actually. It's I've got to be honest. We normally start and say, what sort of games we've been playing, and last couple, I've said I completed a couple of games, played Arkham Asylum last time. Not really played too much. Actually, life sort of got in the way a little bit this week. It
does tend to do that every now and then.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
It's very irritating. But I've got a little bit that I want to talk about in a minute. But I thought maybe you could kick us off. What have you been up to this week?
Yeah, so I have kind of jumped deeper and deeper into The Witcher. I keep on getting deeper into Geralt.
Okay.
But today, this week I actually finished Heart of Stone. It's the first expansion from it for The Witcher 3, and I still fail to find enough superlatives to describe this game with. It's so good. I think as a story, it is the single best story that's been in the game so far. As like if you put it as a single piece, it's so good. Previously, I'd always thought that the Bloody Baron's kind of whole storyline was absolutely fantastic with his wife and his child. But this, I think, takes it to the next level. As I said on the last one when I started playing it, it's kind of the comedy ramps up quite a lot, which is a nice change for it. And then it concludes in just a really satisfying way. Some cool little fights and things happen in really beautiful locations. Just the writing's fantastic in it. And then I kind of moved on and started Blood and Wine as well, which you're whisked off to a new location in that one. And all of a sudden, the game goes from being like your kind of fantasy setting with mountains and some greenery and water and stuff to this like everything is just like hyper bright green, red, blue. Like it's like they've put an Instagram filter on the whole game or something, and it suddenly becomes so colourful. It feels like you're in like a fantasy version of like Tuscany or something like that. It's like crazy colourful and really beautiful to look at. And then again, also the characters in it that you meet instantly are just, again, so over the top and wonderful. Like all the guards are walking around kind of talking in prose and stuff, and like it's so wonderful. But really enjoying it still. Hopefully I'll have that done by the next time we record, and then I can kind of give my wrap up thoughts on The Witcher 3 as a whole.
I actually forgot, because you just reminded me. Because you've been nagging me for ages to get back into The Witcher, and I did actually. I think a couple of weeks ago now. I just played. Because I said I wanted to start it again. I played probably like 6 or 7 hours, I think.
Oh, have you?
But no. Back when I started it years ago. But I've started again. I think I must have just got rid of the save or something, because it didn't recognize anything. It didn't recognize the game at all.
Yeah.
And I just played the first, I don't know, hour and a bit. Just the tutorial section.
Yeah.
And I forgot how like in depth the combat is.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got 2 swords. So you've got obviously a silver one and a steel sword. Yeah. Which depends on if you're fighting like demons or undead stuff, or like magically.
I think it's the steel is just for humans.
Oh, okay.
And the silver is for beasts, basically, or anything else.
And so I remembered there was all that, and then there's obviously a whole block, parry, dodge, long dodge system in terms of just the sword play, which is a lot. But then I also forgot there's all the I can't remember what they're called.
Oils?
Is it oil? The thing, the words that you said, there's like.
Oh, sorry. I
can't remember what they're called.
The Witcher, like your kind of magic and
like
stuff.
augments or something, or no, that's not right.
Should probably know this, considering they've put like 80 hours into it. Which are signs. They're called the signs.
So basically, you do the tutorial and they show that guy is attacking you, and you have to use the different the signs, and one of them is one that shields you. There's one that puts like sort of sends fire out. There's one that sort of stuns them, I think.
Well, there's like a pushback.
Oh yeah,
type of
pushback. There's another one as well.
There's an influencing minds one where you can control their
it.
mind, and then there's a magic trap.
Oh, cool.
The last one, I think.
And so you do all of those in the tutorial, and then I think you also get introduced to throwing bombs and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, there's so much.
Yeah, and you've got a crossbow as well.
Oh
so
yeah, I haven't even done that. I haven't got there yet. So I did the tutorial, and then I just rode off with my friend. I can't remember his name.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, it's like a sort of old guy. He's a little bit like pomp, bit of a beard on him, and then you ride to this like tavern. And then I'm pretty sure you have like a fist fight. Well, I didn't do that yet. I sort of stopped after that. Oh man, but it's so like in depth, the combat, especially going from when I played just like the Arkham games, and then the game that I actually did play this week that I'm going to talk about in a minute. The combat's so like deep compared to them. So it's quite it was quite daunting. Sort of like I'm gonna have to learn all this.
Yeah. I would say that it does. Obviously, it is daunting. It is quite in depth. I did find, I don't know whether, I didn't play it on the hardest of difficulties and stuff, but I did find, I think I played it on normal, you can get away with not using most of it.
So can you get sort of comfortable with maybe one or two signs?
Exactly. I basically just used the fire sign and the kind of pushback.
Oh, cool. Because when we were doing the like shield one, I was like, oh man, I can't see myself wanting to use this shield.
No, the only time I ever really went in depth with that was when I was kind of in the middle of a hectic boss battle, and all of a sudden I had like no health, and I was like, oh no, I need to stay alive just for one more second. So then I would quickly switch to that, use it, and then hopefully give me enough time. But most of you kind of get into a rhythm of how you do things. So you're fighting beasts, so you're constantly dodging them, kind of. When you're fighting a human, you're blocking them and stuff. So you get into your flow of the various things that you kind of find comfortable doing. But no, it is pretty in depth as well.
I'm looking forward to maybe getting into it a bit more over the summer, maybe. But
absolutely. So what have you been playing then?
Okay, well I sort of had finished a few games. I've got a couple of games that are on the back burner. Like I mentioned a couple of episodes ago about Valkyria Chronicles, which I'm just finding a little bit. I do want to go back to carry it on, but I think I need to just sort of, if I am going to do that, I need to just sort of smash through it in a day or something. So I need maybe like the summer or something to do that. I've also got Divinity Original Sin on the back burner at the moment, and I will talk a bit more in detail of that game next time I actually play it. But it's a very daunting game to try and get
that's
back
like
into.
Even more in depth, I think, isn't it?
It's so in depth, and it's so, because at least in The Witcher you'll get a quest and then it will tell you where to go, and it's kind of traditional in that sense. Whereas Divinity is just like, oh yeah, this character will say, oh, I heard something was going on in this building in this town. Nothing's marked. You don't know where anything is. Like, so you have to. It's just like D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, but in a game and. There's no hand holding at all, and I think the last time I played, my party just got wiped, and I was just like, I lost probably an hour and a half of progress. So I was like, I think I rage quitted it. So I will get back to that at some point, because it was amazing, even though it's really punishing. It's a really good game. But what I did do actually yesterday, because I thought I really want something to talk about, and I've been meaning to get back and play this game a bit more for ages. I played and actually completed Moss.
Oh yes, the VR game
on PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
So. Basically, Moss is it's obviously a VR game. You are controlling kind of two characters in a way. You're controlling Quill, who is a small, cute little mouse, and you're also kind of in the game as yourself. Like the game opens up and you're in a big sort of amazing-looking cathedral library sort of room, and you've got this big picture book in front of you, which kind of is the way that the story of the game is told.
Yeah.
And I think you're called like a reader or something. That's at least when I was looking up. That's what they was calling it. And you, at points in the game, you actually see yourself. You can kind of look down and see your reflection. And you're kind of like if you've ever played Journey, you kind of look like one of the things from Journey. And you've got sort of, it's a mix
like
between the Journey and the creepy thing from Spirited Away.
Yes, Spirited Away is what I thought of when I watched it.
You're kind of like a mix, because you've kind of got that big sort of oval mask on, and it looks kind of like that. And basically you go through it's I kind of like that you have a way of describing what it is that I really like.
A little diorama.
Yeah.
Like the world you're in.
Yeah, so you kind of go through and it's just little scenes that are set up as if it's kind of like in a small cardboard box and you're moving the mouse around. And it's kind of basically the game is a 3D platformer.
Yeah.
Puzzle solving, and there's a bit of combat as well.
Yeah.
And you take Quill through on this, this quest where I wrote down somewhere a little bit about the story. Where basically there's this arcane evil that has been released, and your Quill's uncle, has been kidnapped by a big fire-breathing snake.
Nice.
And is kept in a castle. And so the whole game is you helping Quill on this quest to get there. And basically, you as this reader, this big character, can influence the world.
Yeah.
So you with like the left analog stick and the buttons, you can control where Quill goes and make her attack. You basically just have a sword, and it's just pretty basic attacks. There's no.
Is there a dodge or a block?
I think there might be a dodge, which I never used.
Yeah.
I just kept jumping and stuff, so that was bad of me. But with your controller, with your just normal like DualShock 4, there's a sort of blue orb that moves around that you can move with your controller into and around the scene, and that will sometimes let you pick stuff up or move a platform or turn something so that you get cover a little bit later on in the game.
Yeah.
And it's just done so well. There's little parts as well that are amazing. Part of the charm of it is how cute Quill is and how funny it is to see her do stuff. Like there's a couple of different trophies for like scaring her. So you face her away from the camera, and then you put the orb behind her and press, and she like jumps. And there's a bit where you do a really good bit of platforming, you get through this level, and then she gives you like a high five.
Yes,
and you move
I love that bit. Yeah.
So it's really cool how you interact with the level and with her. And it's just a really, really well made thing. It's only like 3 to 4 hours long.
Yeah.
And I think I played actually the first time I did it, I think I played just over half, so I didn't have too much more to play. But it's absolutely amazing. It came out in February 2018. It's made by Polyarc, who I went onto their website. It's their first game.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it's the first thing they did, isn't it?
Yeah, the first time they've. So I went on their website and had a good look around, and there's a page with all of the developers.
Okay.
And if you scroll down the list, Quill is listed there.
Oh,
and
is
it's
it?
got a little thing for her, which is really funny.
Nice.
And I was wondering, because it's like their first game. It's purely a VR game. I think you can get it on Vive and other ones now, because I think you can get it on Steam.
I think you're right.
And I was looking, and the developers, it sort of puts a list of games that they've actually worked on before.
Okay.
And it's quite a good list actually.
Okay.
So some of the developers have worked on like the original Destiny, the Taken King expansion, Red Dead Redemption 1 and the Undead Nightmare DLC, Halo Reach, Halo 3, ODST. I can't remember what ODST stands for. It's like
something drop ship T, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. I remember it not being as cool as it should be.
Yeah,
but ODST sounds cool. Guild Wars 2, and then, and this is where I realised why the game was so good.
Yeah,
because they also have people that worked on Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Dragon Age Origins. And I was like, damn.
So that's why the game is almost perfect.
I enjoyed Moss so much.
Yeah. Interesting. It's a lot of like open worldy kind of like games and stuff, and now to go almost the opposite into this tiny little box of a game.
Yeah, and I mean like there are little puzzles. Obviously, it's like a 3D platform. It's all just stuff where you need to move a platform here, and then basically the enemies serve two purposes in the game. So the firstly, there's some combat, and the combat's okay. I think if I'd worked out what dodge was, I probably would have been a bit better at it. But you basically just have to wait for your moment, and they're quite easy to kill. But they also serve the purpose of actually being used to finish the puzzles. Yes. So, for example, there's 3 main enemy types. There's a normal sort of red bug. They're kind of metal bugs. All the enemies.
Like little scarab type.
Yeah, they look like scarabs. And those ones basically they'll attack you, and then after you just dodge out of the way of the attack, and then hit them 3 times, they die. That's basically all they do.
Yeah.
There are ones that are sort of gold that have got a gun on their arm.
Yeah, nice.
Now those ones are used because basically with your blue orb that you control with your DualShock 4, you can possess an enemy, and if you possess those ones, you can actually choose where they shoot.
I see.
So you can shoot to hit this like button that will move a platform. So you put Quill on the platform and shoot the thing, and it will push you to the next place. It's quite clever how it does that. You can also use them to shoot other enemies. So there's a couple of points in the game where, and these weren't my favourite bits, but there's parts where you have to just basically survive for a long time and beat all these enemies. There's sort of a couple of waves.
Yeah, I remember doing a level where I was like, I wasn't sure whether I just had to keep on surviving or whether it was like an endless kind of spawning point of them. But yeah, I think it seemed like it was just to survive for a bit of time and then you can move on.
Yeah, and I think it's something that you do have to sort of clear everything as well.
Yeah.
And so it's really useful to sort of keep Quill just sort of out the way with your analog stick and then just shoot the other enemies. That's quite a good tactic. There's another enemy type which basically they will have like a bomb. So they come in and
I think I've just met these guys because it's after you get off the boat.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're quite brutal until you realise how they work, because if you possess them for more than like 2 seconds and then let go, they will explode. Which I didn't get at first, and I think if you get hit sort of twice, you just die. You can also heal Quill.
Yes.
So if you could put your orb on her and hold the trigger, you heal her, but that takes quite a long time to do.
Yeah,
and it's quite iffy if you don't time it right. But yeah, you can use as enemies to either hinder other ones or open up new parts of the scene, and to carry on with the platforming, basically. Later on, there's 2 sort of other enemies. One of them is these kind of, as you get sort of quite towards the end of the game, there's these big sort of metal sort of sentries, and if they see, like, say if they see you, you die. Like they shoot and you die.
And that's it. Right.
One
shot kills.
Pretty much, but you get about 1.5 seconds of them seeing you, and then boom,
and then
you die.
Gotcha.
So there's and you kind of, I think you have to actually almost take their attention at some points. But then there's cool bits where you can put up a shield, which you move with your analog stick while Quill runs around. It's cool. And then obviously there's the final boss of the game, which is the
fire-breathing snake, is it?
And it's so cool because it takes you through like 3 or 4 different stages.
Cool.
And it's really, really good.
Yeah.
It's a really cool end to the game. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. And it's 3 to 4 hours. I don't know how much. I didn't actually look how much it is anymore. It can't be.
It's like 15, 20 quid, I think.
Yeah. It's really worth it. Because what I did say as well, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I was amazed by that when I was playing it, because I think I'm about halfway or so, or maybe just over.
Yeah.
And
are you at the part where she washes up and she's at the sand?
Yeah, so I've just gone into that location.
Oh, there's like an hour left.
Oh, perfect. I thought there was still ages left.
No.
Ages being not more than 4 hours anyway. But I got to that point and really, really enjoying it. And I was just always amazed at how nice and beautiful and just like strangely, I don't know, the locations. Every time I looked at it, it reminded me of, you know, when you see like a little model village or something with like the tiny little people in plastic, kind of like it kept on like bringing that feeling out in me about how you kind of go around those little places. And yeah, just beautifully designed.
Yeah. Because they're sort of static individual scenes. There's so much detail in them, and there's 2 collectibles in the game, kind of thing, where if you destroy stuff, you get this. I think it's called relic dust.
Yes,
I think that's cool, right? And there's also these little scrolls that are hidden.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're really obvious, and sometimes they are hidden. And there are points where, because I played this game sitting down. It's a sitting down VR game.
Yeah.
But there are points where actually, if you stand up and if you lean, you can actually look behind little pillars and see stuff that you wouldn't be able to see.
I hadn't considered doing that.
Yeah, so it really does help at times, because if Quill goes behind something, you see a little shadow of her, so you can see where she is.
Yeah.
But you can actually
then
literally stand up and look, and sometimes the dual shot form like freak out a little bit. But so it's really well done. It's not just sort of rubbish behind a pillar. It is all literally there. Really, really good game. And the other thing as well, like sometimes with the puzzles, I would never go as far to say as like it's a really hard game.
No.
But there are points where you're sort of like you have to sort of just
a little scratch to the head.
Yeah, you sit down for a minute and you think, and then it becomes clear, and you're like, okay. Like there was no point where I was like, oh, I can't work this out. But I looked at a couple of reviews after finishing it, and There was a couple of them that were saying that some of the puzzles were quite difficult, so it made me feel quite good about myself.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
No, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, if you've got any access to VR, or even if it's, I don't know what the cases of renting stuff, but this game is one that you could easily play in one go.
Yeah.
Maybe your friend's got VR, just buy it, and if you're having like a game or something, buy it, and you can finish it in an evening. It's a really, really cool game.
Yeah, no, I've hugely enjoyed playing so far, and I will definitely finish it soon.
The last thing I want to say as well about it is, because I don't want to say too much about the ending. I mean, it definitely leads on to there will be another one.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Cool.
It totally. The final ending is like, this ends book 1 of Moss or something. So
perfect. Right. Okay. Cool.
But when you defeat when you finish it, when you beat the kind of boss at the end, it's one of the best feelings of like overcoming something that looks like you just shouldn't be able to.
Nice.
It's a really good. It almost has kind of like old school God of War. You know, when you're fighting something like so much like
biggest like colossal thing.
It almost feels kind of like that because because. Well, I don't, but the sort of teamwork between you and Quill is just so good. They get that so right.
And I like that she's such a little meek little mouse, kind of, that it's, I suppose that bit, I'm assuming it's really nice with it being kind of a small mouse defying all of the odds and kind of winning, saving the day.
And we will probably, because I think we're going to talk a bit more about VR later, but it makes me really excited to see what could they do in the second one, because I love her. It's like, honestly, like, I know a lot of people say, you need to build on something for the next game. Yeah. I'd be perfectly happy with a really similar thing with you, you know, with those amazing sets, maybe with a couple of other enemy types or different things that Quill could do. But I was thinking, how cool would it be if you as the reader or whatever you are, this character, if your perspective could shift, so if you could go to another side, so you might have to press a button and you teleport to a different side of it to get a different perspective on what the puzzle is.
Well, I'll get in touch with TC Games, and they can help develop that aspect with Polyarch.
Great, as long as we get some royalties.
It's all sorted.
100%. I mean, I keep saying, you know, I will talk a bit more on VR later, but this is, I didn't expect Moss to be to enjoy it as much as I did. Really, really good.
No, for sure. Well, hold on a sec. What's that sound? Oh, I think it's time to diffuse the news.
Oh,
yeah, right. So,
got there just in time.
This week, there's the last couple of weeks, there's not really been that much happening in terms of like big news. I think one thing that we did say we wanted to briefly talk about was Sonic.
Yeah.
And the nightmares that have spawned out of this hell beast creation.
I mean, so basically, let's go back to this. So we knew a while ago, I think last year, they were going to make a Sonic movie.
A live action.
Live action. Kind of in a similar vein to the Detective Pikachu. That's literally coming out. Is out or comes out in a few days.
I believe
10th of May. So kind of when this podcast.
Yeah, this will probably come out.
So that trailer came out. I think when the Detective Pikachu trailer came out, I think most people, there was a few reactions to what some of the Pokemon look like.
Yes,
because obviously they've gone with, you know, in the anime of Pokemon, Pikachu is just sort of like very
a yellow splodge
and yellow, whereas what they've done in this is sort of said, well, no, Pikachu is a mouse Pokemon, so it would be furry,
of course.
And so they've gone with that, and for quite a few Pokemon, and like Jigglypuff and Psyduck, and they're sort of as if they are, like, Psyduck for example is like what a big duck would be like. And it's kind of hyper realistic, so a lot of people are kind of a bit weird, but actually the tone of the movie, and then like the music choice in the trailers, and the fact that Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu, I think it's, and actually we've just seen some of the reviews come out, and it seems to be quite good.
Yeah, I think in terms of like scores and stuff, it's quite middling and stuff. But generally speaking, I think the kind of geek world is pretty positive on it, which is good,
especially because of like previous video game movies.
Exactly.
Which brings us to the Sonic trailer then, because Sonic was obviously announced, and there was a kind of silhouette poster, wasn't there, of Sonic? It looked like Sonic. Yeah. And everyone was like, oh, okay, I'm sure this will be good.
Yeah.
And then there was that poster that came out
with his legs.
His
legs dangling at Golden Gate Bridge.
Is it San Francisco?
Yeah.
That bridge. And man, like that.
They're like muscly.
But they're sort of they're like wiry, like, I don't know.
It's just so.
It looks so weird.
Yeah. They're very human legs, but just blue furry ones, but very thin and.
It kind of stressed me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Not in like I don't think this is going to be good, because obviously it's not going to be good. But well, I assume
It won't be.
But it just kind of like, I don't know, like people don't like things like, for example, like
people don't like things.
Things.
Quote.
There's that trypophobia.
Is it trypophobia? Trypophobia.
Where you have like
no, don't even bring it
dots
up. I hate
or like
it.
holes that are closely tessellated together, and it makes people feel sick, like you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of get that sort of feeling with looking at that.
Oh, really?
So just the legs just made me feel a bit kind of uneasy.
A bit queasy.
So the trailer comes out, and so basically, this film stars James Marsden and Jim Carrey. I don't know who is voicing Sonic.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. The voice kind of seemed a bit familiar, maybe. So James Marsden obviously is famous from Westworld, where he played one of the what do they call them in Westworld? One of the robots, but I don't know what they're. What are they? Synths? No, that's Blade Runner, isn't it? I can't remember what they're called. It's been a while since Westworld season 2 or 3 or whatever we're on now. Anyway, he plays one of the major artificial intelligence things from Westworld. Really good character, actually. His whole story arc in Westworld is amazing, and he's fantastic in it. And he plays a police officer, which I think he played in Westworld as I think he was a sheriff in that or something.
Yeah.
So he plays a police officer who is, he's sat there in his police car in the trailer, and he's doing a speed check, obviously. Yeah. And then Sonic zooms past, and you're like, whoa, okay, that's cool. And Sonic just looks horrifying.
Yeah, it's got like horrible teeth mouth and his little hands.
And his eyes. And it looks so bad.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, how did that get through?
Yeah.
The amount of people it must have had to check out to actually say, yeah, this is great. Put this out.
And with that kind of trailer that they put out, the film, they must be like pretty much done in terms of like most of the film. And it's got through all that all those stages.
And obviously the reaction has just been like, I've not seen any good reaction.
I've not seen a single person say, I like the way he looks.
Yeah, and usually you'll get like one or two people who are kind of like, not maybe that's harsh me say being contrary for the reason of doing it, but no one's been like, I don't know, I think this is kind of good.
Yeah, no one's defending it at all.
So and there's that sort of still, because basically the trailer goes on and James Marsden's character eventually finds Sonic in this house.
Yeah,
and he has like a tranquilizer gun, and they look at each other, and they both sort of scream.
Yeah,
and that there's a still of Sonic screaming where you see his creepy little teeth,
little pegs in his mouth,
weird mouth, and his hands. Because like Sonic the cartoon character and the video game character has big red and white shoes and big like white gloves. Yeah. In this, oversized.
Yeah.
In this, his hands are small and white, and there's the furry,
and it's all in the correct like proportions for a human. Oh. And his hand, they're like knuckly.
But his head's too big.
Too big, and his mouth and his eyes
his eyes are too small. His head's too big.
Yeah.
His mouth is
too
human.
Real. Yeah.
And there's a still of Sonic screaming, and it honestly haunts me.
Yeah.
Like I'll see it because it's obviously it's a massive meme now.
Yeah.
And it honestly it just freaks me out. It's so
horrendous.
Bad. Did you find out who?
Yeah. So the guy voicing him is Ben Schwartz, who you may know as Jean Ralphio in Parks and Recs.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So he is the voice of it.
Okay, great.
Interestingly, though, what you were saying about the backlash, is that they have the director, I think, came out and said, "We hear you loud and clear." By the time the film comes out later this year, I think, is it?
I don't even know. I
think it's later, November the 8th is when it's meant to be coming out. They are going to.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
They're going to redesign Sonic. His visual effects team is going to redesign him throughout the whole film.
Amazing.
Which is good. It's good to see a response.
Just give us the Sonic, but like 3D.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't need to be like this hyper realistic furry little.
Like the Pokemon work as furry because they are kind of cute looking, and they don't. Well, apart from Detective Pikachu, they don't speak. They don't. Yeah. They just sort of say their name.
Yeah.
Whereas this Sonic is like
he's a full voice character.
Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's really sort of creepy.
And
looking.
also, am I right in thinking in the trailer he gets shot by the tranquilizer dart?
Yeah, well, that's what happens at the end of that when they scream at each other,
He
and then
ends
James Marsden shoots him with the trank. And
However, Sonic is quick enough to be able to run round rockets being shot at him, but he can't dodge a...
well, we're getting into some deep Sonic lore. Here,
True.
You know, for example, the Flash.
Yeah.
As in like DC Comics, the Flash. He's very quick. He's like so quick that he can almost like he has like a premonition of stuff like that. So he'd get out of the way. I don't know what the lore is on Sonic. You know, in terms of, but I imagine he'd probably be quick enough to get out of the way of a...
Yeah.
Because there's a scene towards the end of the trailer where Robotnik, who we're going to get onto in a second, where Robotnik fires all these rockets at him.
I was not prepared to talk this much about Sonic, but this is great.
I have so many
I
feelings.
know,
I'm
it's
not
wonderful.
to get it out.
This is exactly what we need to do.
Where he's fired all these rockets, and then there's a sort of shot where Sonic sort of pauses, he looks at his watch, and said, "Oh, it's actually quite funny." He says, "Oh, I've done over 9 million steps today." Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah. But then all these rockets are about to hit him, and then he runs around hitting all the rockets.
Yes. So he's obviously quicker than a rocket.
Yeah, he's quicker
significantly quicker than a rocket.
Maybe he was just surprised. He saw the rockets coming. He was surprised by the trank.
Yeah, or we'll see.
That's just what the story was, and I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Maybe.
Anyway, so
Robotnik.
Yeah, so Robotnik is obviously Sonic's like nemesis.
Yes,
is the bad guy.
He's the Bowser.
Now, okay, I started watching a couple of videos.
Okay.
So actually, it's a guy from Polygon, so Brian David Gilbert.
Okay.
So we watched a video of him doing that. There's that poker
rap.
So it's absolutely amazing.
Definitely go watch that, everyone.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Watch the whole thing though. Don't watch the shortened version. Watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
He did a video about a year ago on just the lore of Sonic.
Have you watched it?
So I watched the beginning, but then I had to go and do something.
Okay, yeah. So you've got some knowledge.
And Robotnik, right, is weird. He like spliced his DNA with an egg or something.
I was about to say there's something about eggs, isn't there?
Yeah, and I didn't get any further because I started hearing about that, and then I had to go, and I was like, how can I leave it like this? And I haven't finished the video yet, but Robotnik is weird.
Yeah.
And you see as the trailer goes on, so it starts off with Robotnik just being maybe like a sort of...
He's being played by Jim Carrey.
He's Jim Carrey, which is firstly... Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good bit of casting.
Yeah, like Jim Carrey playing anything, I'll go watch.
Probably the worst actor ever.
No. If you want to know about the worst actor ever, listen to episode 3 of Real Eyes, where we talk about The Matrix Reloaded. Little teaser for you there. I'll talk about the worst.
Whoa! I haven't even watched the film yet, and you know what you're gonna say.
I will tell you. So anyway, Jim Carrey's in it. Who also carried the vastly underrated Batman Forever film. Vastly underrated.
True.
He carried that film.
That's my favourite Batman.
As Edward Nygma. Is it Val Kilmer in that one? It's Val Kilmer, isn't it?
The best one.
That's a good film, man.
It's, what's the director?
Oh, I can't remember. I did, because obviously Jim Carrey's in it, so I've been thinking about Jim Carrey a lot recently.
As I find you often end up doing.
Always. I love Jim Carrey. But I watched a couple of interviews with him about... Because obviously Jim Carrey played Edward Nygma, so the Riddler, in Batman Forever. And Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face. Harvey Dent. And I watched this thing, because obviously they're in a lot of scenes together.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones hated Jim Carrey.
Really?
Hates him. And there's
just like me.
Yeah, there's a really great interview, if you ever get a chance to watch it, where Jim Carrey explains why Tommy Lee Jones hates him, and it's
is this like legit hate?
Yeah, legit.
Oh, wow.
So like they met up for the first time to do like a big scene they had together, and apparently Tommy Lee Jones walked up to Jim Carrey and like gave him a hug, but as he was there, like in his ear, he just went, "I can't stand you."
Yeah,
like that's Jim
amazing.
Carrey. Which I just think is amazing. Imagine these two people there. Anyway, Jim Carrey plays Dr. Robotnik, and he starts off as I think he's kind of like a advisor scientist to the military or something. And you see, as this trailer goes on, because at the beginning, it's just Jim Carrey with a sort of short-cut hair, little moustache.
Yeah, and fairly normal looking.
Yeah, kind of normally, as much as Jim Carrey can. Yeah. And as the trailer goes on, because you kind of think, that doesn't really look like Robotnik. So Robotnik's bald, massive ginger
moustache.
Funny
little glasses.
And the little glasses. And as the trailer goes on, he kind of devolves more
Yeah.
and more into this, and then finally at the final shot of the trailer after the
It's
when
after
coming
the,
out-
the
yeah, it's after the Sonic coming out,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
is him kind of full Dr.
Full
Robotnik,
yeah.
and that is it. Just looks so good. It's
Yeah.
just perfect what you'd want.
And that is why the film will actually be the best film of all time.
I think it might be worth watching just for Jim Carrey. I mean, it's going to be worth watching to see what on earth this film
This
is.
train crash.
This horrendous film.
Boy, oh boy.
But Jim Carrey, I think he'll save it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
James Marsden's good.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, that's why I'm. So. Okay, so just another one more thing really quickly.
Oh
before
yeah. No, of course.
Before you move on, is
As I said, it was a slow news week.
a slow news week. Yeah. So I was trawling through the PSN store as I do weekly now, and I just want to say something. You may have gathered that I'm a fan of the Dragon Age games.
Just a little bit, yeah.
If you have PS Plus, I couldn't remember what it's called. If you have PS Plus, and you log in, you can buy Dragon Age Inquisition, for £3.59.
Incredible.
Now, I think it's a good game.
Winner of Game of the Year at the first Video Game Awards.
It won Game of the Year the year it came out, and that's a lot of game for £3.59. If you've not played that and you're looking for an RPG to play, £3.60.
Now, can you
go for that?
Is it okay to jump into Inquisition without playing the other two? And that's a serious question, just because of the fact you can't get the other two on a PS4.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you totally can.
Okay.
And I think this one has I think there's a website you can go on to pick what choices you made from Origins and 2, because it didn't carry across saves, so you can't. So everyone had to do that, even if you played both of them.
Yeah, because this was PS4, whereas the others were PS3 or last generation.
Yeah, so yeah, you can totally do it without playing the others.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you might get a bit more out of it if you'd played or at least seen the other two, because a couple of characters do jump in from 2 especially.
The best of 3 games, right?
No. Yeah, so that's really cool. I just wanted to throw that out there. Then the other thing that I did was I went through, and there's currently a sale on specifically about Japanese games.
Yes,
and I was like,
I saw it. Yeah, I noticed that.
Actually, there's 2 things from this that I wanted to talk about.
Okay, perfect.
One of them I should have researched a bit more and forgot to.
Oh no.
The first one, so let's do that one first anyway. There's a game called Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition.
Yeah.
Now, is it literally the whole game of Final Fantasy 15 in like weird rubbish graphics?
Little anime graphics, yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah. It was made for phones, I'm pretty sure. That's why they brought it out.
I'm so conflicted about this.
But it's like the whole game.
It's a big game.
Yeah. It's the whole game, so that they could put it on a phone basically. And then I think they also, I don't know if it happened at the exact same time, but they brought it then to consoles, or it came out the exact same time.
Yeah, because I think it's like £15.
Yeah. Is it called Pocket Edition or something?
It's called Pocket Edition, or it's definitely Pocket something.
Yeah.
It looks dreadful. It looks so bad.
Yeah.
And then I look, because on PSN you can see a little trailer of a game, which is always janky and doesn't work properly. But, and I watched this, and it's just little clips from the actual game. I was like, is this really just the whole of 15 like that?
Yeah, it's mad.
Crazy.
That whole game, Final Fantasy 15, has had such a weird. Obviously, it had one of the craziest, like, from introduction to then releasing timelines. But it's just everything about it. It feels like they went right. We had this offshoot of Final Fantasy 13, 13 verses or verses 13, 13 verses, I think.
No, I think it's verses.
Is it verses 13? Yeah. Which looks really, really cool and dark.
Much better than the 13, normal 13.
Exactly.
And actually 15 did end up being much better than 13. So.
Yeah. And then because it took so long for them to actually make this game, it feels like they've gone, right, we've done it, we've released it now. Now we need to milk it as much as we possibly can by releasing loads of different DLCs, a Pocket Edition version of it, just all sorts of extra stuff. Like this game has continued to be around for literally years now.
Yeah, so I played all of 15. I didn't play any of the DLC, but apparently it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
There's because you get sort of little, I think they're called episodes with, I can't remember the other ones. I know Gladiolus is one of the party members.
Is it Ignis?
Ignis, something like that. And doesn't it begin with a P?
Yeah.
The one who takes photos all the time.
Pompey. No, it's not that.
I'll come back to me in a bit. But there's little episodes of them which give more backstory to them.
Yeah. Well, some of the DLC's been cancelled now, I think. Now they're winding down everything because, one of the guys just left.
Yeah, I think actually that is a really good game. It's got some issues, and there's some things that if you're a Final Fantasy purist, you'll hate. But really, one of the best things about it is probably something that a lot of traditional Final Fantasy fans will hate, in that you have your party from the get-go. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't go and pick up an extra person here. You don't swap people in and out. It's just, this is your party.
Yeah.
And actually, that will be a massive turn-off for a lot of people. But it's actually one of the best things of the game.
Yeah, from the little... I was about to say the little. I played, I think, a good 20 hours or so of it. I didn't end up finishing it. Maybe I will kind of one day, but I actually quite enjoyed just having the team there the whole time.
And that is honestly one... their camaraderie and the like stories they tell and the back and forth that they have while they're in the car is so good. It's such a cool, that game, it could have not been a Final Fantasy game. It could have been something else, and it would have been really cool.
I suppose that's where that's a whole nother conversation.
That's where people were disappointed with it, and I can totally understand that.
The name just brings so many preconceptions and what you want out of a Final Fantasy game.
We could do a whole episode on...
I'm sure we will.
I'd love to, because where they go next is such a fascinating question. What is Final Fantasy 16 or 17? There might be another online version or something coming, but what the next major game is going to be. In fact, we may even talk about that later on. So I just wanted to touch on that, because that blew my mind that exists.
It's Prompto. By the way,
is
the other guy, Ignis, Prompto, and Gladiolus.
So Gladiolus was the big guy who did hunting. Ignis did cooking, and Prompto did photography.
Yeah,
Ignis is the one who was like, "I've come up with a new recipe."
Every time you pick up something,
a new recipe. It's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, no,
So really good
Pocket Edition.
Really good fishing sim as well. Really good, quite surprisingly in-depth fishing sim.
There is the VR one as well. Is it something like Beasts of the Deep or something like that, which is a VR fishing game?
Yeah, I platinumed Final Fantasy 15, didn't I? I got the platinum trophy, so there's a lot of fish. You had to do a lot of fishing. I got pretty good at the fishing in the end.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the other thing...
You said there was another one, and not something else that caught your eye.
So when we think of major Japanese role-playing game franchises...
Yeah.
You think of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
You think of what's the really cartoony art style one? You think of is it Dragon Quest?
Dragon Quest.
Dragon
Quest.
You think of Final Fantasy. You think of Persona.
Yes, you do.
Now, Persona 5 came out at a really difficult time. There's loads of other stuff going on. I couldn't even fathom playing it. And I love Persona 4.
Because they're huge, aren't they? Like,
huge.
Legitimately, like 60, 70, 80, 100 hour games.
So basically, in the back of my head, there was a couple of times there were the sales on, and I was thinking, Persona 5 is £25, man, I've got to get that. But then I was like, maybe when it dips below being £20, I will go, that's it. And I looked on the deal, and Persona 5 normal edition is $15.99.
Yeah.
I bought the Ultimate Edition, which is $19.99, because I thought it's only £4 more.
Yeah.
I kind of regret that a little bit.
What does it add?
Obviously, like extra costume DLC? Stuff, a couple other personas, stuff like that.
Oh, it's not like.
But I think even the normal version gives you the soundtrack as well. Yeah. So I've got the soundtrack. I don't really know where that's saved to my PlayStation.
It just saves it in like the media player thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I bought Persona 5. Really looking forward to playing that. Yeah. And then I went to my favourite website, howlongtobeat.com. Man, that game is a minimum 95 hours. Main story.
Whoa.
95 hours. And I totally forgot how long those games are. But
that is mental.
I think it's going to be one of those ones where I just need to dip in here and there. But I'm really looking forward to playing that, because I love Persona 4 on the Golden on the Vita.
Now, I don't mean to bring this up after what's the expression? Like the horse is bolted? Or one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Do you know, which is some actual news we can actually talk about, of the Persona 5 R and S things?
A little bit, not very much.
Okay. So again, I don't have a huge knowledge just because Persona's never been one of the kind of franchises that I follow closely, but I'm pretty sure we have Persona 5 S, which stands for, I will tell you in 5 seconds.
Google.
Is Scramble, the Phantom Strikers. So Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers. And that is a kind of action RPG in the vein of like a Dynasty Warriors type thing. So that's like a completely different game. I think a lot of people were thinking... people
were quite upset with that, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I think most people were expecting it to be a Switch version of the game, which it is on Switch. However, it's not Persona 5 on Switch.
Yeah.
It's kind of a different version of it. Then we had the kind of teasing of, well, before that actually was Persona 5 R, and this is Persona 5 The Royal, which is kind of like previously had Persona 4 Golden. Yeah. So they add on extra kind of characters, story, things like that. So that will be coming, I think, next year, I believe. Does that change your thought about waiting for that, or are you happy to just crack on with?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said originally I did kind of want to play it on Switch because I played Persona 4 on the Vita on handheld and really enjoyed it, having it. I could play it wherever, but you know, the fact that I'd have to wait a year and it will be probably 3 times the price of what I've just paid.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Also, which is horrible to say, like trophies as well. I like just gonna smoke. You know, I'm like 97% on the level that I'm at the moment. I want to bump that trophy level out.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, I think I'm happy to get it now, and
cool, good.
I feel like I need to play it.
Yeah,
I feel like I need to play it. It's one that I always wanted to, and just went under my radar while other stuff was happening. So
especially at that price,
it's crazy.
Very tempted to just like pull the trigger and jump in as well.
16 quid for 100 hours of
one of the highest rated games.
One of the highest rated games
of this generation and stuff. So
no,
excellent stuff with that. Cool. Well, was there any others that kind of stood out on the
deal? There's a whole section of games for under £4.
Okay.
Where there was a couple of first-person shooters from 2 or 3 years ago. That if you're into that stuff, I think like Battlefield 4 was up there. And there was a couple of others as well. If you're into those, man, there's crazy deals going on at the moment. I think Dishonored and Dishonored 2 are both on really big reductions as well, on big sales at the moment. So
I did see that Prey is there as well, which I haven't. It's by Arcane Studios, I think, who are the guys that did. I think they did Dishonored as well.
Oh, cool.
I think it's the same team. I'm pretty sure. That I've played like the first like hour or so of that. Really, literally feels like BioShock in space.
Yeah,
is exactly how it feels. Very cool game. At least so far. And I think flew under quite a few people's radars, which is a shame. Another game that's surprisingly long as well. I thought it was going to be like a 15-hour game. No, apparently it's like 30 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think should we take our little
half time?
Little half time.
Yeah. So last time you tested me.
Yes, I quizzed you.
You quizzed me, and I did very well
on the Metacritic reviews.
That's it, the Metacritic reviews. And I thought what I would do is I would make a little quiz for you, and I've called this quiz "Boss or Dross."
Ooh.
That's because they rhyme. So they rhyme.
Cool.
So basically, the way this is going to work, I've got 15. This was hard actually.
Okay.
This took a lot more research than I thought it would. I've got 15 names of bosses.
Okay.
From video games.
Okay.
Now some of them are real.
Yeah.
And some of them I've made up.
Okay.
Now basically, I'm going to say the name of the boss, and you need to tell me: is it a real boss or is it dross?
Okay. So boss or dross.
Now you'll get a point if you can tell me if it's true or false, and if you're right. I will give you an extra point if you can tell me what game.
Okay.
So if it's true, I'll give you an extra point if you can tell me what game the boss is from.
I'm nervous about getting you putting out some weird name from some Dark Souls game or something.
Well, the other thing is I've tried to pick them from games that you've got some kind of knowledge of.
Okay.
So none of them are going to be from like a Dark Souls game or anything. There's no Dark Souls. I really wanted to put one from Metal Gear in there somewhere, but I just couldn't. They were all too. They're too obvious.
And I would have got it.
So there are none from there. Or is there?
Okay. I think I'm ready for this.
Or is there? So we're gonna start with them.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna tell you the name, and then you've got to tell me true, false, and if you can get the game as well.
Boss or dross?
Number 1. Oh yeah, Boss or Dross. That's the name of the game. Number 1 is Sarfog.
Can I get spellings of these? Can you spell them?
Yeah. I think this is right. I may have. Yeah.
Okay.
Sarfogg.
Sarfog.
Sarfog.
Sounds a lot like Saffron, I think is his name. He's like Saffron, I think, is the leader of the Horde right now, or one of the leaders.
Ooh.
One of the commanders of
Bit
the
of WoW.
Yeah.
Bit of WoW lore coming out.
No, Sylvanas is actually the leader, but he's like in charge, like captain or something. Dross.
Dross.
Absolute definite Dross.
Dross.
That's made up rubbish.
Sarfog is a real boss.
No.
It is the snake, the fire snake from Moss.
Oh, spoilers.
So I specifically didn't mention his name earlier.
I see.
So
Okay.
zero points there.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Right,
Yeah.
let's move on. Number two is Necron.
Boss.
Boss?
Yep.
From the game?
Yeah. Necron is the final boss in Final Fantasy. Oh, is it 9, 10, or 12? I don't think it's 12. I think it's 9.
12 is obviously the Undying. Come on
Oh,
now.
yes, the
We
Undying.
must
Yeah,
remember
okay.
that.
Yeah. So it's either 9 or 10, and I'm pretty sure it's 9. No. That's Osmo. 10. Final Fantasy 10.
Final Fantasy 10, final answer?
Wait, what was it called? Necron?
Necron.
I'm going to go 10.
10?
Yeah.
That's wrong. It's 9.
No!
I'm sorry. Right, you get 1 point. It is a real boss. Man,
it.
I've never seen the end of 9, and I had to sort of look up kind of what happens. That's
It's
crazy. Man, it
crazy.
goes I don't want to ruin anything for it,
Yeah.
but that goes places.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Damn it.
Number 3, Boss or Dross. So you're currently 1-0. Mr. Monday.
Mr. Monday. It doesn't. It's not ringing any bells straight away.
Not ringing any bells?
So I'm gonna go with Dross.
Dross?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'll do if you get one wrong that's Dross that was actually real.
Yeah.
What I maybe say what I'll do from now on is I'll say you're wrong, and then I'll ask you if you want to guess what the game's.
Okay. Yeah. Good idea.
This one you're right though.
It's a Dross.
Mr. Monday is Dross. It's actually a book by Garth Nix.
Ah,
Mr. Monday.
fair
It's
enough.
A series of books. Just
Fantastic.
don't know why I put that on there. Okay, number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4.
Is this 15? Is this?
That's 15.
Okay.
We'll just pick the speed off you.
Yeah. No. I'm loving it.
Number 4 is Venom Ganondorf.
Now I know Ganondorf is the baddie in Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Venom Ganondorf. This
Venom
is like
Ganondorf.
Venom being from Spider-Man, and Ganondorf.
Or did Spider-Man get Venom from Zelda?
My goodness, is this the biggest collaboration ever between
Can you imagine?
between
Venom,
DC and
Tom Hardy as Ganondorf.
JK, no,
If they make a Zelda
Marvel.
game, Tom Hardy should play Ganondorf.
Yeah, that'd be right. I'm gonna say it is Boss.
Boss? Wrong.
No,
I made it up. There's Calamity. There's Calamity Ganon in Breath of the Wild, but there's no
Okay.
Venom Ganon. I had to do a lot of search.
This
Do you know
is,
what's
this
really
is
annoying?
Tricky.
I'll tell you what's really annoying about that one is I typed in Venom Ganondorf.
Yeah.
I think there must be a Super Smash Bros streamer called Venom who plays who uses Ganondorf as his main, which is very confusing. Okay, number 5.
Okay.
Rafe Adler.
Oh my goodness.
Rafe Adler.
Rafe Adler.
Rafe Adler.
Rafe.
Rafe. R-A-F-E.
Oh, not Wraith, as in
No.
W-R.
Rafe. R-A-F-E. Adler. A-D-L-E-R.
I'm gonna say Boss.
Boss.
Yeah. Is that right? Should you tell me, or should I tell the game? Guess the game.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
tell
say.
me, and then I can
Okay.
guess the game.
Yeah, that's real.
Boss.
It's a real boss.
Rafe Adler. I have absolutely no idea what game.
This is hard, to be fair.
And therefore, I'm gonna say Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
I wanted to
The
put
New Order.
Wolfenstein in there, but the boss is called like Death's Head. and
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
It's not from Wolfenstein.
Ah, damn it.
Rafe Adler
Yeah.
is the main villain in Uncharted 4. who you have the sword fight.
Oh, yes,
Yeah?
I did know that. Rafe, yeah.
Yeah, Rafe.
Yeah, your friend.
I think the surname, I don't think you really call him.
No,
that,
yeah, Rafe.
Yeah, he's like he was like your friend, wasn't he?
Spoilers, but yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, spoilers.
A lot
for
of
the main
spoilers
boss
here.
of Uncharted 4.
And the end
I'm
of
trying not to get
Final
too much
Fantasy IX.
into the spoilers.
No, that's right.
I did. Well, we didn't spoil what happened at Final Fantasy IX.
No,
Necron.
just that you fight someone called Necron and it's mental.
Okay, number
I'm
6.
so annoyed about that. Like
The Uncharted one.
no, the
Final
Final Fantasy IX.
Well, because I wanted to.
That's my
I was
favourite
looking at
game.
9 and 10 because I know you
Yeah.
know those ones very well.
yeah.
Okay.
Not well enough.
Number 6. Number 6 is Whiskey Drunk Randy.
Oh my god.
Whiskey Drunk Randy.
I'm gonna say Dross only
Dross?
because I don't know why we'd face a boss called Whiskey Drunk
Randy. Okay.
No, it's gonna be a bloody boss and it's gonna be from South Park or something, isn't it?
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you there because I'm going to give you the point. Because Whiskey Drunk Randy is not a boss from South Park.
Okay.
It's Red Wine Drunk Randy.
Is a boss from South Park?
Is a boss from... Which one? Do you want to have 50-50 for a point? I'm going to give you a point for saying Dross.
Okay.
But I'll give you an extra point if you can tell me which one.
Yeah. I think,
So it's Stick of Truth or Fractured Butthole.
I'm gonna say Stick of Truth.
No.
Damn
right.
it!
Yeah, so 1 point there. Yeah, I love that. It's the list of bosses.
Yeah.
One of the main boss from Stick of Truth, I was going to put in this, but I think it might be quite rude.
Okay.
I think it might have like the N word in it.
I see.
so I
Okay,
didn't
yeah,
wanna
that's
put
probably
that.
one to avoid.
Okay, number 7. Flemeth.
Flemeth. That just sounds like a word that you would make
Do you
up.
want spelling?
Yeah.
So it's Flemeth. So it's not phlegm like you cough up phlegm.
Flemeth. Dross. Dross is a word you've made up.
It's a word I've made up. No, Flemeth
Bugger
is Flemeth is an optional boss in Dragon Age Origins. She's Morrigan's mother.
Typical. Dragon Age being my undoing again.
Boss of Dragon Age. It was my undoing in the last.
True,
quiz, so
it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we should. Do you know what? We should try and get an episode where I don't talk about Dragon Age Origins.
That's never gonna happen.
Okay, number 8. Mad Dummy.
Mad
Dummy.
Dross. Yeah.
Mad Dummy is real.
No,
Mad
it's
Dummy
not.
is
It's
from
not.
Undertale.
No, that's not
Do you remember
true.
that bit where you can? There's a dummy, you can punch it, and then if you punch it, it gets really mad and attacks you.
I don't know if I've got that far. Was it quite near the beginning?
It's quite near the beginning.
Maybe I've done it. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Wrong.
Idiot. Is that a boss?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. It's on the list in the wiki page of bosses.
Fair enough.
I did my research.
Yeah.
Next one.
I shouldn't question you. I'm sorry.
Number 9. Scorpion Demon.
God. Dross. That's just two cool words put together.
Dross. It is Dross. Do you know what?
There had to be a Dross coming up soon.
I was originally going to do it as real because I wrote Spider Demon originally from Doom. Do you remember the Spider Demon
Yes.
from Doom? But I just changed it and I said Scorpion.
Yeah.
So yes, you get the point there. Well done.
Excellent.
Next one. Number 10.
Okay.
Olgroth the Usurper.
That is a boss.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to say this confidently. That's a boss and that's from Bloodborne.
A boss from Bloodborne? No, I made that up. Do we need to get a bleep button out for your reaction?
Yeah, we might have to.
Olgroth the Usurper. It sounds real, that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Olgroth the Usurper.
That is there's loads of Bloodborne ones which are like that.
Yeah,
named like
there
that.
was a lot of lists of this, but Olgroth is something in something as well.
Okay.
That is a name from something. But
You deceiver.
Okay,
Chris
number 11.
the Deceiver.
Number 11. Leader Whitney.
Leader Whitney. Crap name for a boss.
Think about it though.
Leader Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
Whitney.
Yeah. That's not the clue bit though.
Leader. Boss.
Do
Yeah.
you want to have a guess at a game? It's true. Sorry, it is a boss.
Yeah.
I'm going to be quite specific on this.
World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Vanilla.
No. Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal.
Leader
Whitney
leaders
from Goldenrod City. She's got a Clefairy, and she's got that damn Miltank level 20 that uses rollout and just like absolutely batters your whole party.
Oh my god.
Horrible boss.
I was convinced. I don't know why my head was going to like leaders and like the leader of a gang or something like that.
No, gym leader.
Gym leader. Of course.
So they're called leader.
Makes so much sense. Idiot boy.
Okay. Number 12.
Yeah.
Number 12 is Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy.
How do you spell Grundy?
Grundy.
Oh, Solomon Grundy. This is ridiculous. Dross. Yeah, Grundy's a word that you would make up.
No, Solomon Grundy is a Batman villain. It's a boss from Arkham City.
That's my lack of DC knowledge.
I think Solomon Grundy is like an actual thing as well. Like Solomon, it's like a poem. It's like Solomon Grundy born on a Monday, something like. Yeah, it's an actual thing. So yeah. Number 13.
I've done terribly.
You've not done well.
I've not done well at all.
Number 13 is.
I was convinced when you were like mentioning that this might be an idea for this. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do so well at this.
I'm quite confident in these last three with you. Though.
Okay.
And if can I just say, if you don't get some of at least two of these last three,
I'm not a real.
I might need to look for someone else to do this podcast with me.
Okay.
Number 13 is called the Pink Salmon.
What? It's a dross.
Dross?
Yeah.
Of course it's dross.
Yeah, of course exactly.
It's dross. Pink salmon?
Yeah.
Come on.
Ridiculous.
It's never going to be a villain. Okay. Number 14, the penultimate villain.
Yeah.
Koshi and Roshi.
Ooh.
Koshi.
So this is a boss.
Roshi. It's kind of two.
Yeah.
Bosses.
So it is a boss.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Did
I
give that away? I kind of gave that away. Yeah, I forgot what the quiz was.
I was saying it is a boss. Okay. That was my answer. Koshi and Roshi. I really recognise those names.
What game are Koshi and Roshi from?
Koshi and Roshi are from. I can't think of it. I can't think of anything.
Do you want to guess?
Yeah.
Quite fairly recent, last few years. Last couple of years, maybe.
Yeah. Definitely going to guess with Sekiro.
Sekiro?
Yeah. Did you said last couple of years. I did not even play Sekiro.
Alright, I'm going to give you another guess. I'm going to tell you it's a game that you've played.
It's a game I've played?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Chris, I can't think. I've got mind blank. What's happening in life? Koshi.
So you're going to get 1 point because you said that it was true.
Yeah.
Do you got a final guess? This is for 2.
I can't even think of any games. What are games? I don't even know games anymore. What is happening in my life? Koshi and Roshi are the baddies in Nier Automata.
Yes.
Koshi.
They're the big ball thing.
They've all got bloody stupid names, don't they? Or the robots.
But you fight them individually.
Yeah,
big robot things, and then you fight them together.
Yeah.
Good man. Well done.
Do I get the point for that?
You get 2 points.
Yes.
Because you got it. They are true, and they are from Nier Automata.
Yes.
Right. The final.
Best game of all time.
Okay. And I'll spell this one for you as well in a second. This one is Zol the Unscathed. XOL. Zol the Unscathed.
Ooh, boss.
Boss?
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
If you can tell me where this is from, I'll be so impressed with you.
Again, this really rings a bell.
Mm-hmm.
Zol the Unscathed. My head's going in all sorts of different places.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to a Bloodborne. I'm going to a Witcher 3. I'm going to like a Warcraft related thing. Have any of those that I just said are correct?
I zoned out.
Okay. I said I was going to Bloodborne. I was going to the Witcher 3. I was going to a Warcraft related thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of those right?
One of those is along the right lines.
Zol is a boss in Demon Souls.
Demon Souls.
Yeah.
I did say at the beginning of this game.
There was no. Therefore, I'm rescinding that answer. That is a ridiculous thing to say. It is from Zol is from Hearthstone.
Yes, that's right. Well done. He is the final boss in the dungeon run expansion. So
yes.
What was that expansion? The Crypts and Kobolds or something.
Kobolds and Catacombs.
Kobolds and Catacombs,
D&D.
and the dungeon run. He's the final boss.
Yes.
If you get to everything else, he's the final boss, isn't it?
There we go.
Well done. Okay, so what did you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 points. How many were on offer? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 10 out of 18. That's not bad. That's over 50%.
Did I really get 10 out of 18?
Yeah.
Are you including all your drosses in scores?
Well, the drosses were only worth 1.
Oh, yeah, of course.
No, it wasn't out of 18.
No,
it was
wasn't
out of way more than that.
Yeah.
I can't count. Well, we're going to say you got 10. That's pretty good.
Yay!
That's
I got
pretty
10
good.
out of an
10
undisclosed
points, not bad.
To Gryffindor?
Yes, 10 points to Gryffindor because you're Gryffindor and I'm Hufflepuff.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Well done.
Good. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I feel vindicated as a true gamer and with excellent knowledge of bosses.
If you hadn't got that near
Automato on that. Automata?
Well, I don't care.
Yeah.
Then
that would have been despicable.
Good work on Hearthstone.
Yeah. Thanks. You kind of helped me, but yeah.
And now it's time for how many days is it until we can play Pokemon Sword and Shield? The answer this week is 229 days. Thank you for listening to How Many Days Is It Until We Can Play Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, well, okay, so let's move on now. Let's discuss the next thing I wanted to bring up was we spoke last episode about the reveal of the PlayStation 5.
Well, the next PlayStation console.
Sorry, the next PlayStation console, which we believe will be called the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
I thought what would be fun today is, again, because of the general lack of crazy news, would be to look forward to the PlayStation 5 and think about some games which we are looking forward to potentially coming out. Some unannounced games.
Yeah.
So as an example, I was thinking how excited I am at the prospect of Horizon 1 Dawn or Zero Dawn 2 or whatever it's called, basically a sequel to Horizon, and it's kind of going along those lines of what are some of these unannounced games that we think will be on the PS5 and which are exciting.
So I mean, just quickly talking about that one, I mean, I'm conscious I don't want us to spend hours on this because we could talk for ages about all these games that we're going to talk about, but Horizon, the reason I was thinking about Horizon the other day is because me and my wife were catching up on Game of Thrones. I got her caught up for season 8, and when Ygritte comes on, Aloy kind of just looks like Ygritte, or the other way around. Something because obviously she uses a bow and arrow as well. And it just made me think of Horizon. Made me think, oh man, I blitzed through that game. I did that horrible thing that I've been doing recently, where when a new game comes out, I just absolutely smashed through it, and like I did it with God of War as well, where I play it so quick that I feel like I kind of forget about it after a long time. And I kind of feel that with Horizon, so I'm kind of excited to get another one. Eventually. I mean, I suppose it's probably a fair bit off still, but
I think there was, I don't know if there is actually rumors of it or something circulating, but Guerrilla Games they've expanded massively, and there's I think there's some sort of rumor that's going around that they are working on a multiplayer shooter-esque type thing, so maybe continuing Killzone.
Wow.
However, the other team then is working on the sequel to Horizon.
That's cool if they've got big enough that they can split into.
There's like literally hundreds of, I think it's something like 500 or 600 people work there now.
Although, what's the betting we get? So we get Horizon 2, and that's amazing. And what's the betting the other game we get is a Killzone Battle Royale? Well,
so I think,
I'm sure it'd be cool.
I think along those lines, in terms of first-party studios, Sony don't really have a first-person shooter kind of thing other than Killzone. Like Resistance doesn't exist anymore.
Resistance.
So it could be a really, really good idea actually to have Guerrilla, now that they've become like top tier game developers, make some sort of, even if it is just like in the vein of, so continuing Killzone, so keeping the brand alive because it's a name that people know. But even doing something like an only multiplayer related. Obviously, we generally play single player games, But if they brought out like, what was it, Rainbow Six Siege, kind of where you've got that kind of online people kind of doing a siege, obviously, of houses and stuff like that. But that kind of maybe smaller scale multiplayer kind of living game, I think could do their roster of games the world of good. I think as well, as much as it might not be that interesting to us or something, I think it'd be great for them.
I'd be interested in it purely because it's from them. Because even when we played, so Killzone Shadowfall was a PS4 launch title, and the campaign from that was like okay.
Yeah.
But I think that two of the best bits from that campaign were when actually you kind of played almost like a kind of stealth, first person shooter kind of mash.
Yeah.
And those were like the very final mission is that, and there's a little bit in the middle of the game as well. Those bits were really cool, and I wonder if they could make that like kind of a stealth based, and it would have to be something like still set in the future kind of a stealth based first person shooter.
Yeah,
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah,
but I guess I'd want a campaign. But
yeah, of course. I think regardless, I think it will be at least very competent and good at the bare minimum, I'd imagine, from them. I'm looking forward to, hopefully, if it is something to do with the Killzone brand, which if it's Guerrilla Games making some sort of first-person multiplayer related thing, surely it's got to be Killzone.
It makes sense to me. It makes sense.
I'm looking forward to, with it being that then, hopefully, I'm looking forward to whenever there is like a PS5 reveal or something. So, going back to that rumour, it was meant to be that I think the multiplayer thing would be a launch title in 2020 with the console. And then 2021 or 2022 was then the Horizon follow-up, which I'm kind of okay with having a little wait. Wants it, obviously, desperately, but...
I mean, it'd be really interesting to see what they can do with Horizon now, because obviously, she kind of saved everything, and it was great at the end of Zero Dawn. So I think where they can build on that and go forward, all the different kind of enemy types they could bring in, because it was really good in terms of the variation.
Absolutely.
And actually, it's one of the better games that I've played recently where the different enemy types will force you to play a different way. Like you couldn't, I mean, in a lot of games, like we were talking about Witcher earlier, where you can kind of, and this is not like a knock on the Witcher at all, because you kind of need this in some games where you just pick how you want to do things and you go forward.
Yeah.
Horizon was like, no, you need to master the trap. You need to master the one that is kind of like a semi-automatic bow. Makes sense. You need to master the one that ties the birds down.
Yeah.
You need to, because you can't really. Well, you can, but you're going to struggle against certain bosses or enemy types if you don't.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see what else they can bring to that. And really looking forward to that. Yeah, so definitely that's one.
Absolutely. And what I was going to say with the PS5 reveal is I'm hoping that towards the end of the year or maybe next year, when we get like the proper reveal and the games that are coming out, I can't wait to see those red glowing Helghast eyes. It's just such a cool look. So hopefully we'll get something along those lines. So future games as well. Then have you got any that you are super?
I've got a couple. We don't need to talk about these specifically very long because they're very new. So obviously, you assume we're going to get Spider-Man 2 and God of War 2.
Absolutely.
That sort of trilogy of not trilogy, but the three games of Horizon 2, God of War 2, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
They were set up so well on the PS4, so you imagine we'll get their sequels on it. And God of War set up brilliantly. Mm-hmm. You imagine they're probably already going...
Yeah, God of War must be well on its kind of way. We've just had the year anniversary of it coming out.
And wow, really?
Yeah, it was like last week or the week before.
Spider-Man 2, they were showing off Spider-Man 1 and what the PS5 can do to Spider-Man 1. So hopefully that means they're kind of going having a look at what they can do with that. And that game was really cool and went different places with what the story was expecting. So hopefully they push that further.
Yeah.
Really excited to play all of those.
Yeah, I do hope they... Obviously, they're such big games. I hope they give them, like, although we want all of the games now type of thing, I wouldn't mind them doing, like, one of those each year type of thing. So, like, one in 2020,
from
2021,
maybe 2022 onward. Like, if that's Horizon, then 2023 maybe God of War, then Spider-Man.
I could see us getting Spider-Man earlier.
Yeah, I worry Horizon about that, though. I want them just to chill out, take the time a bit. So don't want them to rush this. If they rush it, it's gonna.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those sprung to mind. We'll talk about. I know you want to talk about one in a second, which I'll bring up. But I just really quickly,
Yeah.
I'm not. Do you know what? I wrote Final Fantasy, but I'm not going to cross that off because I don't want to talk about it now.
Yeah, we'll do a whole thing on Final
We'll
Fantasy.
do a whole thing because we both love those games.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Obviously, Last of Us 2 is probably coming out this year. Maybe?
Well,
end of this year, maybe next year.
There were
2020.
Supposedly, I think there was a rumor of like something like the 25th of September. Then there was like a new leak of some date of some sort, which I think is October or November. So I'm fairly confident it'll be this year. I think it's going to be this year.
That's great, and I think it will get a very similar thing to what we had with The Last of Us 1, where Last of Us 2 will come out on current gen PS4, and then year and a half later, we'll get a...
Well, I think that this is an interesting point in that do we get a remastered version for the PS5, or does the PS4 game, because it's backwards compatible, just automatically download an update which patches it?
Yeah, I guess it could actually.
Because I'm really interested to see how they actually straddle this.
That's interesting because then are they not getting as much money from you?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't imagine that. I don't know. Can you imagine if you say you buy it on PS4 and it's it's obviously however much it costs, and then imagine if they put in a thing where it's like £15 to download this
to unlock the
PS5
PS5 update. Yeah,
interesting.
I
see what they do with that,
because obviously they've said backwards compatibility is here for it. So does that mean that, because previously it's always been when PS4 came out, PS3 games were then like £10 cheaper because you were getting an inferior version of it, whereas now I don't know how this is going to work. Yes.
But so the reason I bring them up is obviously we may get Last of Us 2 in some form on PS5. What next for Naughty Dog? Because obviously we don't know what the story's going to be of 2. Yeah, obviously Last of Us is so huge that you imagine it will build that world even more, and Ellie, into the much more rounded character, and she's already a really rounded character.
Yeah.
And you imagine there will be more Last of Us games.
I don't know.
Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just have this weird feeling that they didn't really fully initially intend to even make a number 2, and they're doing it because they've obviously thought of a way to make it and continue the story. I don't know if we'll get another one.
Really? Yeah. I mean, for me, Naughty Dog can do what they want.
Yeah,
because I feel like they've earned that. But
they do.
I'll be amazed if they don't.
Yeah,
I will be amazed. But
obviously, do we get more Uncharted?
Well,
from them. Yeah,
I mean, I love Uncharted. Uncharted is one of my, if not my favourite gaming series. Yeah. But it'd be really exciting if you just see that Naughty Dog logo come up and then it's something new. Imagine something completely new from them, kind of. That'd be really exciting.
Absolutely.
And it'd be cool if we got something on the PS5. And you imagine we must get something from them on the PS5.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and I'm assuming you want to talk about a little game from an unknown developer,
Kojima Productions,
yeah,
made by the mastermind Hideo Kojima.
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, man, like that game. I have been going through all sorts of thoughts with it based on. I'm very confused by the marketing strategy for this game.
It's been like trailers and up at shows for years, hasn't it?
Yeah, literally years and years and years.
But I feel like it's gone kind of quiet the last 6 months.
We haven't had anything for a while now.
Yeah.
We've so the last major trailer we had was the one with the kind of pseudo gameplay where he was just walking around lots.
Yeah.
The kind of I think.
So the one with Troy Baker, wasn't it?
Oh no, sorry. You're right. That was separate. We did get a small little trailer, which was from I think it was something he did in Japan. Kojima did something in Japan. There was a small trailer, which is the one with Troy Baker's character being introduced, the crazy golden mask.
Yeah.
So we haven't had anything for a long time, and people keep on asking him when are we going to get the new information. And I think at the Tribeca Film Festival, him and Norman Reedus did a kind of Q&A type session, and he said something. It was really interesting. He said something along the lines of that he wants to give us a trailer as soon as possible, but he can't because Sony's marketing team have said it's not time yet to do that. So I don't know whether they're basically thinking, right, we need to give some of these other games more spotlight right now because they're a bit more imminent, and with Death Stranding potentially being a bit further away, they're like, let's forget about that for just the time being. Let's not keep it in the conversation. But I imagine at some point this year we will get another. I feel like the next one's going to be the big trailer, which is like, right, here's like a 20-minute gameplay chunk. What the game is.
Sony are not going to be at E3.
Nope.
Which is fast approaching.
Yeah.
Microsoft will probably announce their new console.
Yeah, I imagine possibly. So. Yeah. I think they will be. Yeah.
What if Sony announce their new console and we get something else then, and that kind of confirms that this game is a PS5 game?
Yeah, I think that's very possible. I think this could be a game which straddles both consoles. Whether it's launched, I don't know whether they would get the launch of the game for the console or whether it comes out on PS4 like 2 months before the PS5 comes out. I don't know which one is preferential.
I don't know. I kind of think in my head it might. I don't think Kojima wants it to be like a launch game.
Yeah.
I don't like. I feel like there's a bit
he's too big for them.
Yeah.
I feel like he's too big and it's too big a potential game for it to be done round the launch of the console.
I think,
the game may not even be ready by the launch of the console. To be fair, actually,
we don't know how far along it is at all. But
no.
I think it's likely that the PS5 comes out. Mm-hmm. We get Guerrilla making a game for it. We get something else. We get bits and mobs here and there, and then a few months down the line,
Death Stranding
it comes.
Yeah. I think that's as much as I don't want that to happen because I want to play the game right now. I think that's probably quite likely, actually. He has a track record of taking his time.
I still think it comes out on PS4. I think
I think it'll be
they've
big push.
Promised.
It's all being announced as a PS4 game. There's also Ghost of Tsushima as well.
Yeah.
Which is...
I totally forgot about that game.
Sucker Punch's game. So after Infamous and that lot.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, really exciting. Again...
Do we have any date for that at
all? No date. And it was thought... Again, originally that it was coming out this year, but actually there's no talk of it or anything. So apparently that's
get as far away from Sekiro as you can.
Yes,
get as far away from the release of that game as you possibly can.
I think that's 2020, maybe
great,
even further.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because the thing is, I think that game's is gonna be probably like one of the games of the year. For this year,
I think it'll be a real contender.
It's not something that like I particularly. It's not my kind of game really. But
no.
Yeah, everyone adores that.
Yeah. It will be good.
Because it's thematically so similar, where it's set in the same place. I think you just want to avoid any comparisons.
Exactly. Yeah, I think those are those kind of main first party studio games. Which looking forward to lots. There's also the Behemoth.
Yeah.
Of GTA 6.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I kind of forget about that. It's just that'll come when it comes.
Yeah.
What year did 5 come out? Shall I look it up?
Originally, 2013. Because it was a month.
Before.
Before, or was it a month
before? Because I played GTA 5 on my PS3.
Yeah. I never played it on PS4. I don't think. So it came out. It must have been like the September. I think it was September 30th or something like that. Anyway, 2013. It's been 6 years.
Yeah.
Coming up, we're on our way to 7 years.
GTA 6 is going to be huge. I mean, obviously 5 was huge and it kind of still is, but GTA 6 is going to be massive.
Absolutely.
Really interested to see that.
Yeah, and there was some little leak that went around that said it was you were going to be playing in. It was all the locations like Liberty City, Los Santos, San Andreas. Like it was something along the lines of you will go to all of the locations, and it will be like the map size of each one, but as one big world, kind of. Whether that leak was true, I don't know, but could be interesting.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Like full on mega world.
Would you like them to give us like 2 or 3 protagonists again? Because I really enjoyed that. I think.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it because it meant it. One thing that when people talk about video games who don't know anything about video games, they bring up GTA because the name of the game is about stealing cars. Like Grand Theft Auto, you stealing cars.
Yeah,
and like it's one of those games where you can go and literally do anything. You can go and like massacre a whole city. Like you can do whatever you know. And having the 3 characters, kind of, and they're all obviously criminals.
Yeah.
but there's two of them who you kind of have a sort of moral connection with, and then obviously there was Trevor, who was
just an absolute lunatic.
And it was an interesting way of being like, I'm playing as Trevor now. I'm going to be a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm going to be more edgy. I'm going to kill more people.
I'm not going to follow the highway code.
Yeah.
If that's a red light, I'm going to go through that red light.
Yeah. And I gave you the freedom to.
I'm going to steal that plane.
A horrible person.
Yeah. So I thought that was a really interesting way of doing that. I'd be up for them doing that, and it would be a cool way of having of getting around the. Well, okay, you're in Liberty City, which is supposed to be like New York, and then San Andreas is obviously supposed to be like California.
Yeah,
it'd be an interesting way of getting around. How on earth do you travel between these places?
Yeah,
and it's a case of this character is currently in Liberty City. This person's in San Andreas. This person's. I think that would be an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. We
could do a whole.
I know, absolutely.
GTA podcast.
Yeah. There's one other thing which I just briefly want to ask you about future games and studios. What's Rocksteady doing?
Oh, I wrote their name down just now, and then I crossed it out because I don't want to get into this.
We don't have to. That can be saved for another thing. All right, just give me all I need is what is the main protagonist of their new game, or is there any one protagonist, or is there more?
There will be multiple protagonists.
Okay, and their names are.
Their name. You want me to do this?
Yeah, I want you. Am I
predicting this now?
Yeah.
I think it might be like a Teen Titans game.
What's Teen Titans? I'm terrible.
Teen Titans is like, it's like Robin. It's like there's Beast Boy, Raven, Cyborgs, and everything. So they're like a team.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the younger.
All from the Batman universe.
Starfire. No, they're kind of all from all over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're kind of they're a fun team. There's Teen Titans Go, which is a cartoon. Like
that's what I've heard of.
And I think there's currently a Teen Titans live action show that's on something at the moment, which is I've heard mixed things from, but I'd probably love it.
It's not just Batman kind of.
No, I don't think Batman.
Is it just DC?
Yeah, it's DC. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I don't think Batman's in this game.
New game.
I could see it being Batman Beyond.
Okay.
Which would be cool. And then Bruce Wayne is, because in Batman Beyond, Bruce Wayne's old. And
right.
He's kind of a mentor to, I can't remember the guy who plays Batman in it, but that was another cartoon show. I could see, I just can't see them doing a Justice League game very well, apart from the whole thing we were talking about last time about what the PS5 can do.
Yes,
it does better to do a Flash or Superman, fast moving.
Now we can actually do that.
Do I think it's a Superman game? I don't really.
Yeah.
I'd love a Superman game, and I think Rocksteady would be the perfect people to do it. But I think maybe if they did like a Teen Titans game.
Yes.
Characters like Starfire can fly and projectiles and stuff. They could show off what they can do, and then you could build to. They've already given us a really cool Batman universe. Mm-hmm. They could then expand that a bit, and we know Robin from the Batman universe. He's the sort of tie-in potentially, and then you could then introduce. Oh, maybe there is a Justice League.
Yeah,
maybe there is a Superman in this world. I don't know.
Okay,
that's a bold prediction. And
exactly. I've not heard that.
Part of the reason I don't think I'm right is because everyone is like, well, no, not everyone, but people are waiting like bated breath. Like, what is this game? And I think if Rocksteady came out and said Teen Titans, I think there would be kind of a bit of a what? Like you said, when I said Teen Titans, what? What is that? I think it would be kind of like okay. Yeah. Whereas if they came out and said this game is Superman, people will lose their heads and go crazy.
Okay.
So I think Superman. My heart says Teen Titans.
Yeah.
But my head says Superman.
Okay. My prediction for this.
Go on.
This is not our actual bet.
Okay.
This is just a prediction.
Oh, I also thought it might be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Damn. I think that has been rumoured.
Yeah, it was rumoured. That was something, but that'd be kind of cool.
Right. I
don't want it. I want DC.
E3 this year, Microsoft conference.
No.
WB game. No, not exclusive, but they just announced it. WB Games.
Oh, okay. An Arkham game
comes up called Batman Arkham Vigilante, and
that's an awful name.
That's definitely the name.
Okay.
Placeholder name. And that's so it comes up with Batman, and then everyone's like, "Whoa, Rocksteady!"
No, I'll tell you exactly what it would be called. It would be called Batman Arkham World.
Arkham World. Yeah, perfect.
And you'd send recruits around the world, and there'd be timed missions.
Yeah, and you have to like pay to unlock fast forwarding of stuff happening. Batman comes up on the screen,
I'd be
DC,
well up for
stuff
that.
like that, and then everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be Rocksteady, and then it's like WB,
and everyone's disappointed.
And then the
Rocksteady.
lights stay down, and then Rocksteady announce their game. So they kind of like pre-hype with the new Batman Arkham game from WB Games.
So we'd see the WB Games Batman game, and everyone's like, oh, but I'm kind of like, yeah, because I liked Arkham Origins. Yeah. And then the lights go out, the finishes the trailer, lights go out, and you see, and a man just runs on dressed as Superman.
Perfect.
And he just there's no trailer. He just screams, Rocksteady, Superman.
And that's it. And that's the announcement. Done. So that's what's happening.
Cool.
Guaranteed.
I'm glad we've sorted that out.
Yeah.
This is why I didn't want to talk about Rocksteady, because I should go off on one about them.
No.
Talk about the bets. Do the bets.
Do the bets. Hold on. We've got one little bit about VR. To talk about. No. Should we talk about the bets?
Let's do bets.
Okay.
Let's do VR next time.
Oh, we'll save VR for next time then. Yeah. So the bets. Last episode, we betted. Is that a word? We placed bets. We bet on how many cumulative PS4 sales there were. Now,
did you write down what I bet?
Yeah.
I can't remember what I said.
You said 90
something, wasn't it? 92?
2, 1? Why didn't I write it down? I'm sure I did write it down somewhere.
That's crazy that I didn't write it down.
I definitely did write it down somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll find that. We know the answer.
I think I won.
Yeah. I said something like 78 or 80 million, roughly.
Yeah.
The actual answer, as of the 31st of March, was 96.8. So I'm pretty sure you were pretty close with your bet.
I did. I think I like a week before I'd seen something about it. So it was an educated guess.
Yeah. So that is a point to you.
Yes.
So congratulations on that one.
Is that 2-0?
I think it is.
Is that Hufflepuff 2, Gryffindor 0?
CC, senor.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Go
now,
Badgers.
The next bet for next time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, have you written this one down?
I know what it is. Do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, you can explain it because I need to quickly think of my answer.
Oh yeah. you want to? I had to
write it down this time.
I had to write
well,
stuff down and do
some
some
maths. I have a page in my book called Bets.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
I've
got chocolate in my mouth. What am I doing?
Why did you just take a huge bite of chocolate orange Easter egg?
I'm not sure if I'm even leaving this in the podcast this bit.
So our bet for this week, for next week actually, we are going to go by howlongtobeat.com. We're going to say, how long would it take you to play all of the Uncharted games, not including the card game.
Yeah.
So we're looking at Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4, Uncharted Golden Abyss, the PlayStation Vita game, and Uncharted The Lost Legacy. Okay? So how long would it take you to play all of those games, just the main story, not completionist, not anything like that, just the main story? Now, have you got an answer?
1 second.
My answer that I'm going to say is 56.5 hours. That's my answer. 56.5 hours to play all 6 of those games to the end.
Hold on. I'm going to just quickly do some maths. And by the power of podcasting and editing, I will cut to when I get my answer.
Editing.
And we're back.
Good edit.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with 65 hours.
Wow. 65. I was expecting us to be a lot closer.
No.
So basically, obviously, if it's below me, I win. If it's above you, you win.
Yeah.
So you said 65.5.
No, just 65.
65. So if it's 60,
I don't know if How Long to Beat does half hours, does it?
I think it does.
Does it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure it does half.
Ooh.
Does it? I think it does.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So if it's 60,
should I put a half on mine to make it easier?
For maths.
Yeah.
For reasons of maths.
Yeah. I'll put 65 and a half.
Yeah.
Then it means we're 9 different from each other.
Which means that if it's 60.5 or below, no, 61. 61.
Yeah, 61 and below.
Then I win.
Yeah, and if it's 61 and above. Yeah.
Whew.
What happens if it's 61?
Within-
No, I'm about to take away my half.
Yeah, take your half away.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. So, wow, I'm really intrigued because I was.
Yeah.
I thought my guesses were pretty good.
Mm.
How long they were? Okay. Right. So
Yeah.
those are the bets for,
That's
for
the
next
best.
time.
They are locked in place, and we will find the answer out on the next episode.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, indeed. Well, thank you as always, Chris, for coming to chat about gaming and geeky stuff.
Thank you very much for having me. I'll try and wear trousers next time.
Yes, that would be great. And can you arrange the cleaning of the chair, please?
I will do.
Okay, thank you. Brilliant. Guys, thanks a lot for listening as well, and we'll see you next time. Bye.